Bad games. We've all played them, and in today's video, I'm going to share with you some of the worst games for the PS1 library. I love sharing these games with you. I've had some people reach out and say, hey, what are some of the worst games on a particular console? And in today's video, I'm going to be taking a look at the PlayStation. The original PlayStation had tons and tons of games released for it, but boy, there were some bad ones. And in today's video, I'm going to share those games with you that are in my collection that you may want to go back and revisit and shake your head and say, wow, that was bad. So sit back, relax. Hope you enjoyed this video. The PS1 had some terrible licensed games, and first up is the amazing Virtual Sea Monkeys. Do you remember these? Do you remember looking at these advertisements in comic books of the 60s and 70s or even the 80s? I did, and I never bought them. But here we are in the early 2000s. Creature Labs thought it was going to be a good idea to license this and get it to be a video game for the PlayStation 1. So you're taking your submarine, you're collecting goldfish, and helping the sea monkeys get to their clamshell of protection or whatever it is. And it takes forever sometimes for them to get to the finishing point. Oh my goodness, this is tedious. There's 70 levels of this. It's boring, and even though this was a budget release, this is not a good game whatsoever. It's bizarre. You know, definitely it's something worth showing to your friends for like the most bizarre licensed video game. To me, it's very much a discount Lemmings, and in a bad way. You know, play Lemmings, avoid this. This is terrible. This is monotonous. There's so many other better PlayStation 1 games. If you want torture, if you want monotony, this is a game for you. Another bad licensed game is Bedrock Bowling. And you know what's bad about this is it's not a bowling game. It's a bad use of the Flintstones license. Even hardcore Flintstones fans are not going to like this. And so you are trying to bowl with your buddy Barney, but you're at work, and so you're teaming up with an alien who helps create this lane in which you can practice bowling and still be at work or whatever. It's a stupid premise, and you know you're guiding, you know, one of your four characters down this lane, but it's really kind of like a part racing game. It's not bowling whatsoever. It's slow. It's monotonous. You know, you have to avoid some obstacles. Whatever, it's bad. Okay, this game is bad. It has bad graphics. It is not a good game whatsoever. It's trying to be kind of like creative, making its own kind of like game. But you know, if you're looking for a bowling game, this is not a bowling game. If you're looking for a racing game, this is a terrible example of a racing game, or you know, it's part racing game, maybe part Crash Bandicoot, but it's all terrible. What is known about this though is I actually was just trying to use a controller to play this game, but I've been told that if you put the controller down, the actual game, you'll actually do better in all but 2 of the 11 levels. I thought that was pretty funny. You actually can do better by not playing this game. Avoid this. I remember playing the original Kiss pinball machine and liking it. Boy, was I disappointed when I bought this new when it came out. This was a budget release, but you know, it's a bad pinball game and it's a bad use of the Kiss license. You know, there's some guitar riffs and stuff, but you know, that's it. There's not any of the songs. There's a couple voiceovers from the band, but oh my goodness, this is just really bad. I'm a huge video game pinball fan, and when done right, it can be awesome. This is terrible. Has bad ball physics, has bad camera. You know, it's not fun. It's way too difficult. You know, there's just other PlayStation 1 pinball games that are so much better. And with only 2 boards here, you know, everybody's going to be disappointed. People looking for a pinball game are going to be disappointed. People who are wanting Kiss pinball are definitely going to be disappointed. Only the most hardcore fans, I would even say even the most loyal Kiss fans, would probably avoid this. This was a good idea that was poorly executed. One of the worst video game pinball games I can think of. In the late 90s, early 2000s, Mortal Kombat tried to branch out to other things. And this was a failed experiment. And so what you have is you have the character Jax, and you're trying to uncover and search for your archenemy, the super criminal Kano. And so, you know, this is just really bad. It has bad graphics. It originally started as an N64 project, but eventually got ported over to the PlayStation, and it just doesn't work. You do unlock moves, and the game does get a little bit better when it comes to that, but the enemies get super difficult. The camera is terrible. It always moves around, and it's never where you want it to be. It's boring. The AI is stupid. There's so many problems with this game. It just takes all the fun of the Mortal Kombat franchise and boils it down into a really boring collectathon. There's several things that you're collecting throughout the levels. The combat is broken. The gameplay is broken. The graphics are broken. This is just a terrible budget release. It did come out at 20 bucks. But it's just a plain awful example of what you don't do with the Mortal Kombat franchise. I do think Bubsy 3D is one of the worst 3D platformers for the PS1. Even just the story, yuck. You know, Bubsy was at best an average platformer for the 16-bit era, and you know, they took that, you know, franchise and decided to go all out with a revolutionary, you know, 3D platformer for the new PlayStation at the time. You know, this was an early release, I'll give it that, but it just is broken. The camera's bad, the control is just not fun to play whatsoever. It just is not responsive. Jumps are difficult, aiming, everything about this. The commentary in the game is annoying. You know, there's like 17 levels, but this just doesn't work. Is it the worst game of all time? No. You know, I think the graphics are okay. I just think everything else about this game does not work whatsoever. It's just everything about it just needed more refinement. You know, the big issue though is you're trying to do you know, a very precise control before the analog controller came out, I do believe, and it just doesn't work. You know, even jumping on enemies is a chore. Avoid this. Yikes. Those are some of the worst games on the PS1 library. There's many others. Comment below, what are the games you think are the worst PlayStation 1 games? I want to hear your comments. I want to hear your picks. And if I haven't checked it out, I may go back and revisit it. Who knows? Might use your quote in a future video sharing your picks for the worst PlayStation 1 games. I want to thank everybody for the ongoing support. If you're new to my channel, please hit that like and subscribe button and click the bell as I'm uploading videos every week. You folks are wonderful and beautiful. This is the Immortal John Hancock, and you have a good day.